Okay, now we shall start. A very good afternoon to all students. So, welcome to the day 5 on the online awareness program on placement and internship opportunities. So, in this last session, I am happy to invite Mr. Sathish Arumuga Nainar, software engineer, ML Solutions, Multicoreware Incorporation. So, Mr. Sathish is an alumni of PEC from the batch 2014 to 2018. So, he joined as in Wipro after the eighth semester as a project engineer. He worked there for up to 10 months and then he joined in Multicoreware as software engineer in ML Solutions, and he is currently working for 3 years in Multicoreware. I welcome you to the session, Mr. Satish. Please take over the session. And a notable point is Mr. Satish and Mr. Prakash are the national level science innovators. He has won the first prize, which is conducted by the Anna University. I welcome you all to this event. Mr. Satish, you can take over the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was a brief introduction about me, and let me share my screen. Just a second. So, is my screen visible? Hello?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Satish. Visible. It's visible.
All right. Yeah, all right. So, yes, so that was an introduction about me, and I work as a software engineer mainly on machine learning solutions, Multicoreware. So who are we? So who is Multicoreware? So we are pioneers of high performance computing. Okay, so we optimizations is the bread and butter of our organization. Yes, parallel programming, all the uh, just to give some idea of what is heterogeneous parallel programming is. So we generally write codes for CPU, right? Like all the C, C++, Python, any language you take that is meant for working on CPUs. Whereas there are other hardwares available in the market, like GPUs, FPGAs, and other highly performing hardwares out there. So all this heterogeneous parallel programming is meant for those GPUs. So we started off with NVIDIA on making a CUDA programming. So now it's called as CUDA programming, and there's a set of CUDA languages out there to write any sort of programs, be it computer graphics or blockchain transaction. Everything is running on GPUs nowadays. So all this works with CUDA languages, and CUDA is something specifically meant for NVIDIA. So that's how we started, and we eventually got into video codecs. So video codecs are nothing but nowadays we are watching movies in Prime, Netflix, and all, right? So if you see, all these videos are their untouched version will consume like uh, around 14 GB of memory. So it's highly challenging task to transmit all this 14 to 15 GB into your TV or into your mobile. So that's where the video codecs comes into the picture. So these codecs encode, meaning they compress the frames to an extent where the 14 GB files will be transformed to somewhere around like 700 MB or 800 MB with lossless compression. So your TV and your mobile phones and your whatever device you watch, it does this decoding on the fly, and that's where the video codecs comes into the picture. And we were the creators of X265, and X266 is currently, we are building it. So X265 we have open sourced it. So that's our that's our mark in video technology. And we also stepped into machine learning, and AI systems. So we majorly work with computer vision. So all the image related processing. So we do with machine learning and AI engineers in the company. And we have like so if you take machine learning and deep learning, it's a wide variety, right? It's a wide spectrum of possibilities that can be done, right from natural language processing to healthcare, uh, finding a tumor in the cells. All this can be done with machine learning and deep learning. So we are majorly focused on computer vision. So we write kernels for specific hardware. So maybe to give a brief introduction of kernels are nothing but functions which directly work on the hardware, be it CPU, be it GPU, be it any hardware you take. These kernels will be directly working above them to get all the potential of the hardware, to squeeze in all the every unit of performance we can squeeze out of these hardware, and that's where the kernel comes in. So we write machine learning and AI systems which will be deployed on any edge systems, on any edge devices, and as well as we started providing a cloud support. We have a product called Hube, okay, Human Behavioral AI. So that's one of the hottest product which we are developing, and which is purely based on cloud technologies and deep learning. And there are set of engineers, compiler engineers, who are working on different hardware architectures, so that people from any industries can deploy any sort of application on their hardware. So we do a lot of projects with respect to compilers. So, and we also started with a very small team of engineers who are working on this advanced driver assistance systems. So, which is basically an autonomous driving, also called a self-driving car and systems. So, we are also stepped into that. Uh, so that's what we do. And we work on, as I was saying, we work on multi-core and multi-threaded CPUs, squeezing every ounce of units of performance there. We also work with GPUs, DSPs, FPGAs, and AI hardware accelerators, or some of the hardwares we closely work with. So we are not the kind of developers who work on the API levels, right? Not on application development wise, but we work closely with the hardware. So that's where we comes into the picture. We work with and we work for some of the coolest people in the industry. Since we work with all these hardware, so our major customers are NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, ARM, Microsoft, Seva, Cadence. So apart from that, we also have Amazon and big customers in our plate. And so that's the introduction of our company and what we do. So what we expect, okay? So since we are dealing with high performance, and we work with the underlying architectures, we expect you to be proficient in C, C++, especially like you should know how pointers, memory management works in the behind the picture. Okay, so it's not just you write a C program. It's all about you should know like what is really happening inside every code you write, right? So this is something you should be we expect you to be proficient. And data structure and analysis, uh, this is something mandatory one, since you are working on the since you're working closely with the hardware, you are limited with resource you have, right? So you will have a very less memory available. So you got to use that memory efficiently to run some algorithms or some any programs you write, right? So we expect you to know like what is time and memory complexities, and how to write your code optimal. All the sort of stuff we expect you to know. And apart from that, as I was also saying, operating systems and all this paging, virtual memories, DMA, cache. So sir, before proceeding, like which year student are we talking with? Jain sir?
They are honor CSE students.
So CSE, okay, like
That is from the
any
second year,
specific years?
first year to second year.
Okay, okay. And then I assume all this paging virtual memories are uh, have not been covered yet, right? No.
Yeah. They'll be studying those in their fourth semester.
Okay, 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 got it.
As of now, we just explain about the importance of data structure, which is going to be in the next semester, as well
Mm-hmm.
as how to prepare for the programming languages. For example, you said that they need to be well-versed in C, C++, pointers, etc. So
Mm-hmm.
how they can start these programming languages and how to crack those interviews. For example, the technical or else some coding part of the interviews.
All right, all right, all right. So yeah, so maybe I'll cover that in a while. So since you guys are going to see all these things, so please pay attention while taking these classes. Operating systems, data structures are all like what defines a software engineer is that if you know data structures and operating systems, not just it's limited with operating system and data structures. There are other concepts like how compiler works, and what is hardware, like what is a DSP, a digital signal processor, like all this. you know a software engineer is made up of all these concepts, right? So you should be well aware of that. um, so it's not just all companies won't expect you to know all these stuffs, but these are all some of the mandatory things an engineer should know, and that's what we expect you to be. And you don't have to worry about any specificity of any of the uh, algorithm. Sorry, hello. Yeah. So optionals. uh, Yeah, so knowing about machine learning, deep learning, computer vision is an added advantage. Your resume might get shortlisted based on these MOOCs. They call it as MOOCs, right? So any certifications which was done, with machine learning, deep learning, that can be considered for the next set of interviews. So I highly recommend you to do your own projects, open source, or do any open source contribution. I'm not sure, like uh, you guys are in the right time to do open source, but this gives a boost in your profile. You might get shortlisted based on the specific uh, the specific of open source contribution. Like it could be anything. Okay, it could be anything, any libraries, anything you see, you try to do some sort of contribution, be it like writing a test code or doing a documentation. That is also considered as an open source contribution. So maybe you guys can check that. So the next is where to learn all these. So there is a course called Nan to Tetris. Okay, so this is something which I came across 2 months back, and I wish this course was there. But this course is like 6 to 7 years old. But this is still the best course available in the Coursera, and this is something only very limited people knew about this and did this course completely. And this is a 14 weeks course, which basically covers everything. Okay, building an entire CPU from the logic gates. You will write hardware with logic gates, and you sort of extend it. You create a program counter, you create a ALU, you create everything. You create a CPU, then you create a assembler. All this is well structured course. You will start from, maybe I'll share the notes which I have. You see here, and this is how the course goes. Okay, so you will start with the gates, and you create a elementary logic gates. You will create a CPU, RAM, chipset, everything you create. And the course guides you to create everything, okay, from the scratch. And you will build a assembler, and above assembler you will build a compiler. From compiler you create an operating system, and you also create a high level programming language, where which you will write a game which will be played on the hardware which you create. So this is a 14 weeks course, and it will you should spend a lot of time working on that. So I just completed part one of the course. Then I didn't get a specific time to work on the second part of the course. So this is the notes which I was taking, and I was also working. So on that, yeah. So this is something I highly recommend you to do, and this is a, a basic beginner level machine learning course, which is also available in Coursera by Professor Andrew Ng, and deep learning course. So basically you can start off with Nan to Tetris, and you go with machine learning and then deep learning. So with this you will gain a lot of knowledge. Uh, so yeah, so if you have any questions, you can write to me at this email ID. You can take this, and you can please take notes of these courses available. Yeah. So coming back to what Jane sir asked. So, and there is this thing called lead code, and this platforms, right, helps you to crack. Yeah. So this is the, yeah. So lead code helps you to crack all the, it's a kind of a competitive environment where you will be given a lot of problems, and you are asked to solve everything. It could be it could be data structure problem, it could be an optimization problem. you know you got to submit it. If your rank goes higher in lead code, and you have a high chance of getting recruited by Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. All these recruiters are now looking into lead codes. It's all about, it will take around like 1 to 2 years of preparation. 1 to 2 years of preparation. High preparation is required to get into these companies, and lead code is something which gives you, which opens a gate for you to, to get into those companies. So this is something I encourage people to do, and this gives you a lot of exposure, like how to write a code, how how to optimize it, how how to structure a code. Everything will be covered. you know uh, but it's all about practice. So you got to practice at least a year or two to get into those companies. So since you guys have started, so we have like first year and second year students in our in this room. So maybe it's a right time to start with lead code. Just start off with the basics and try to uh, you know try to move to the next levels. So yeah. So so is there any questions specifically? Hello. I think that's pretty much from
So,
my side. Yeah.
so in interview for machine learning jobs, there might questions from topics of regression, optimization, like that, sir.
You're going for an interview as a fresher, we expect you to know, if at all you're applying for a machine learning position, we expect you to know that, all this regression, regression, random forest, how things works. Yeah, that's definitely will be asked. Yes. So did I answer your question?
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you, sir. So, other than machine learning concepts, what are the other concepts they may ask? That's concepts you shared, no? Right?
Yeah. So you know other than machine learning, all these concepts like operating system, data structures, all these concepts will be asked across any domains you take, right? This is something mandatory in every interview you take, right? It could be Zoho or you know Amazon. All these companies expect you to know data structures and algorithms. And some interviewers might even ask you about operating systems. It's good to know everything. Yeah.
This multicoreware company is only focused on machine learning models and they're related to, or any other services or product basis.
Just a second. Pause notification. Yeah. So what was your question? I just lost you. So yeah. Okay. I think I got it. So we as a specific city, like you have a different different verticals here in our company. So everyone works on a different uh, you know uh, you know when we recruit a fresher, we with we basically evaluate your performance and your area of interest. Based on your area of interest, we will put you in video codecs or machine learning or compiler. It's up to you, what you decide. Okay. So if at all you have been put into a computer vision and deep learning, we have a multiple projects, as you saw here, Cadence, Seva, all these are all different companies we work with. And all these projects will be very challenging. You will be put onto any project and you will be working on that. It's not just about developing a model and fine tuning it. It would hardly take a week of work, but to deploy that, it's going to be a painful task, right? So yeah. So you, as an engineer, you will be working on on anything you get it, right? Be it model training or model deployment. It's up to you.
So okay, sir, sure, sir. Thank you.
So, any other questions?
Yes, students, any other doubts regarding the AI as well as AML?
So, if that's all, Prakash can take over this.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Satish. I think they are clear. If they have any doubts, they will just give me your mail ID that is displayed in the screen.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Satish. And the next is, I'd like to call upon Mr. Prakash.
Hi, Jain sir. Hi, everyone.
Mr. Prakash is the software development engineer in Johnson Controls, and Mr. Prakash and Sathish belongs to the same batch of 2014 to 2018 in the same section. And Prakash and Sathish, they both won the national level science innovation competition, which is conducted by the Anna University. And he is currently working in the Johnson Controls as a software developer. I welcome you, Mr. Prakash, to the session. You can take over the session, Mr. Prakash.
Thank you, sir, for the intro. So, hey, good afternoon, all, and I hope you guys are doing well. So, myself, Prakash, I'm from Johnson Control, and I've been working in Johnson Control for past 3 years. And so I'm working as a Windows application developer, as well as I do work on cloud applications. So these were the two major places I work for. And just to talk about the Johnson Control. So this is actually a building automation company where we deal with the things which we have in the buildings. So we used to connect all the things as a like a kind of an IoT, I can say. So we used to connect each and every objects in the building into a single system. So based on that, we develop multiple softwares and applications accordingly. So this is about Johnson Control. And yeah, and about the event, yeah. So I'm just very much glad and pretty excited to be participating as a speaker in this session. So even this is a great opportunity for you guys to groom and learn as well, right? So moreover, like it is an awareness program that I can say, because to be frankly speaking, we don't have this kind of awareness program when we are doing our college days. So it is something great. And so just to talk about the awareness or the placements, I would like to just to cut in chase, like I wanted to put this everything over the job offers. So everyone will have that adrenaline rush to grab that good job offers, right? So eventually everyone are working towards that only. After 4 years, you wanted to grab some good jobs, like a handful of money you wanted to earn, right? That is what we are planning. Yeah, there are some other cases like someone have to do some masters and they wanted to go in different track, that is like some different thing. But since you're focusing on jobs, I would suggest you like not to make it as a long time goal for jobs. I would say that you have to split the goals, just to not grab the job, I can say. You can just split the goals. Basically, firstly, the first one I would say is something like you have to come up with a good profile. So profile, the resume that you're going to have after 4 years, that is something is going to help, that is going to help you in the placements, right? So the good profile making is something I feel which is really important to do as a like a graduate. And secondly, I would say this is an optional second thing. This you can take or you can ignore also, because when I was doing my college days, I was not pretty much focused on particular technology. For example, machine learning or cloud or UI UX. I'm not focused on particular technology. So I would suggest, like, if you're focusing on particular technology, that would be a very much good opportunity in the placements. So these are the two things. So just to describe Sorry, I don't have PPT actually. So just bear with me. I will paste whatever I talk so that you can just see those things. Just a minute. Jain sir, I'm not able to see the comment or chat window. Is there a chat window available? I think I'm not able to access it.
Just a minute, Mr. Prakash.
Maybe
Maybe
Prakash, I would ask you to share your screen, open a notepad, and write something over there.
yes, I can do that as well.
As you are the outside our organization, you can't able to access the chat window.
Sure.
So, Mr. Sathish, I gave a better idea. You can use that.
Sure, I have it in my notepad already written. So firstly, I
Can you
would like to
please,
talk.
Mr. Prakash, can you please, what is it? The font size is very small.
Okay, sure. I think this should be okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So firstly, these are the 2 points that I am actually going to focus for the next 10 minutes. So firstly, which is about the good profile. So how we can get that good profile. So I just classified those good profiles into 3 categories, which is like basic, average, and excellent. So you can like consider the basic as something you have a degree, you have a one final year project, which like the college will definitely ask you to do at the end of the like third year, I guess. So apart from that, you will be doing some extra like certifications or some kind of normal certifications. So that is what I consider it as a basic profile. And secondly, I would take for average profile, wherein you have a basic and apart from that you have workshops. For example, you can nowadays it is hard to go outside and to take the workshop, so you can go for online workshops and you can get the certifications. And for internships, you can search and you can grab some internships in startups or big companies. There is not a issue. You can just need to have some internships. That is what we are expecting. And for paper presentations, if you have any, you can just like you can go to some research paper and you can get some ideas about it, and you can also present a paper. So for these things, I would say like it would fall under average profile. And for excellent profile, I would say like average plus if you have done any IEEE paper published, like you have some ideas and you have published in IEEE, so that would be something best. And then extra project in the sense like apart from the final year project, if you're trying to do any additional projects by yourself, so that would be an advantage. And you need to excel in any of the programming languages. You can take anything. You can like take C sharp, Java, or Python, whatever it is. Just be good at it. Whatever you know in that particular language, you should know from top to bottom. That is what excel in any programming language. And certification in Microsoft or Amazon would be something great. So I would classify based on these 3 categories. Okay. So it depends on the profiles, I would say, the packages that you're going to get. I don't stick to it. I will say it later. But I would say like if you're having a basic profile, then you can expect this is a package. So if you're having a like an average profile, I can say that you can definitely get the 6 to 7 LPA. So for excellent, I would say like it would be more than 8 plus. So I'm just classifying these things in order to like you can just work on these goals. Like if you're right now, everyone will be in this category for sure, right? So you can just proceed accordingly. Like you can just do some workshop. You can just get some certifications for the internships, paper presentation, and then if you are achieving all these goals, then you can go for this. So that is how I have structured these profiles. So it is something an advisable thing. You can work on it. And I'm not saying that a basic profile candidate cannot get a package of 8 plus LPA. It depends on the situation. So So it is just something which is, I'm saying that if you're good at these things, then it is definitely you'll be getting those packages which I mentioned. So, and then apart from that, to talk about these IEEE things, so what we did is like when we are working, when we try to do this IEEE paper publish, so we actually took a topic and we researched on the topic. We took multiple research paper like based on the particular topic for 5 years or 10 years. We took all the paper presented in the IEEE, and based on that we collectively made some idea. Okay, so we put together some ideas and then we came up with a new approach. So that is how this paper got published. So it is not something that you have to invent something in order to paper publish or do a paper presentation. It is just about innovation. So innovation is something like it is not something you are going to create. It is something which is already created. You just have to improve what it is having. For example, right now we all have the mobile phones, right? And what innovation can we do on that? So right now we have mobiles like which is flying, right? I think LG or some companies like manufacturing mobiles which are flying. So it is an innovation. So based on that, I'm saying like you can take any topic. You can just take any topic, and in top of that, just try to add your ideas, your thoughts. That is what going to help you in the paper presentation or any these kind of IEEEs. So apart from that, for excelling in any programming language or those things, I think you have already got enough details about it where we can do on those things. So secondly, I would say like how to choose on particular technology for the career. Like, so for example, if you're going with this first, like if you're having this excellent profile and you're going into a company, so it is not sure that you will be working on a particular technology, right? You can be deployed on any project. So if you're taking a company, the company will be having like any legacy application, which is like old applications which they have already working on. And they will be having a very new technology application which is running on machine learning or artificial intelligence and cloud and everything. So it is not sure that you will be surely deployed on the new projects, right? You may deployed on a legacy projects as well. So that is the reason I'm saying that if you're focusing on particular technology, so there is a better chance for you to get on a particular project. For example, we have these many technologies, more than that, but I have listed out some of them. For example, cloud technology we have, and ML, AI, UI, UX, which is like in the peak, I can say, and RPA, which is remote process automation, and IoT, and then SRS writers, like, okay, I'll come to this back. And we have like management as well. So for SRS writers is something like so for example, everyone will not be interested in programming, right? Some will be interested on like writing the documents, right? So they are interested in much about writing. So gathering the software requirements also they would be interested. They are not much into coding, but they can do better documentations. Just a minute. Sorry about that. So where am I? Okay. So those people actually can groom in their documentation skill. So there are like multiple advantages for them to like, like work on the documentation perspective so that they can become like a business analyst as well. So it is also a leading role, which is comparing to developer. This is also a good role in each and every organization and in each and every project as well. So there are like multiple flavors available on the technologies. So it is just that you need to choose accordingly. That is what I would say. So instead of just learning each and everything and just blindly going into a particular company, I would suggest you to learn something very focused. Just stick to something like any technologies and try to apply for those jobs. So that anyway, like after 2 to 3 years, what you're going to do will be like whatever you have worked for the 2 to 3 years, then only you will be for those set of skill set only you will be applying for the job after that, right? When you're moving from different company. So that is the reason I'm saying like it would be a head start for you guys if you are sticking to or learning any particular technology. And yeah, so these are the two things I would like to convey. So apart from that, okay, so how can I choose this? Whether cloud is best for me or ML is best for me, UI UX is best for me, or IoT is best for me. So firstly, before choosing anything, you need to understand the flavors of it, right? So you need to since before you are not working on these things, you'll have a blank ideas on what it is. So firstly, I would say just search on it, like where it is used and what it is, then approach on each and everything, and then try to work on small pieces of these things. You have right now, you have YouTube's, blogs, everything. Like you have learning platforms like Guvi, Udemy, and plural sites as well, right? So just check out all these things, check out try to check all these technologies, how these are there, how these are used in the current organization, whether it is suitable for me or not, whether I can grow in this particular technology or not. So that analysis that you have to make, right? So so those things will help you in your at start of your career itself. Because right now I'm thinking like if I was good at like particular I focused on particular technology, then I would have got my like my liked projects or my own domain projects. So that piece of thing I missed it when I was doing my graduation. So that is the reason I was trying to say this 2 points which you can use it in your placements. So apart from this, I have something to talk about this service-based and product-based company, which is something I feel like some people are like pretty confused about it. So the product-based companies are nothing but they make their own product and they sell it. So those products, those companies, we call it as product-based company. And the companies who get their products done by other companies are nothing but service-based company. So for example, we can say like Infosys, CTS, Wipro. So these people have their own like get their projects from their clients, and based on that they work. So this is the major difference. And apart from that, the difference that I see between these two companies are nothing but the work-life balance. I see that it is better comparing to service-based company, the work-life balance, because taking leaves or working hours or something like that, it is a better. And many other things also, it's like comparatively it is better. So I'm not saying that you have to always go for a product-based company. It is better if you have two offers in hand, which is service based and product based, then you have to choose for product based. So that is what I'm saying. It is not something about defaming about like a product service based or like less. So it is depending on the clients they have. So right now if you're taking any big companies like service based company, they are like growing like anything. So it depends on the client. And moreover, if you have two offers in hand, then go for product based. That is what I'm suggesting. So yeah, I think that is pretty much all from my side as well. I'm open for questions. If anything you have, I would like to take it up.
So what about Johnson Controls company?
Okay. So Johnson Controls, you wanted to know about the company, what they're doing, or the um, what you wanted to know exactly?
Yes, I want to know what they're doing, what are the projects they are doing. That's
Okay. So they work on multiple technologies actually. So I can say that even machine learning, AI, cloud, and even legacy, I can say even legacy applications are still there. So it is like you can come up with whatever you know actually. But if you wanted to get recruited in Johnson Control, what suggestion I would be giving is like be good at one programming language. That is more than enough. Because for example, take me, I was very good at Java programming language when I was into the placement time. But eventually in our organization, there is no projects. Like there were projects after the less support of open source Java, they have reduced it. But when I was recruited, I got into a C# project, so which is like kind of totally opposite. But what they have looking for in the candidates is something like whether they are good at the basic skills, like how the memory is getting managed, or how the programming, like for example, you can take the solid principles that we follow when we are doing the programming, and we have the oops concepts. So these are the pretty basic concepts they are expecting, and apart from that they will expect the data structures. So these are like pretty common for all the languages. I can take it for like Java, C#, whatever it is, C++, everything. It will be, this will be the common, right? So I would suggest like be good at one programming language, so it is a better chance for you to get into Johnson Control.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Anything else from anyone? And I heard a comment from Vijay Sarathi that someone in your batch, they were asking like, I'm from biology background, how can I get into these IT jobs, learn this stuff? And you can take me as an example. I'm also from a biology background actually. Till like 1.5 years, I would say that I'm zero in programming. I don't know what it is. I was like, when I was having the first session in Panimala, like in the first year, I was like wondering why they have to write these many lines of code for just print the hello world. So this was the first thing happened with me as well. So eventually, like after like 1.5 years, it went the same. I used to like literally mug up the programs when I was into the practicals. So it was like pretty difficult for me as well. Like I was like going through a very tough time. But after that, I gradually started to learn. So it is something like it is up to us only. So there is nothing like since you're from the computer science background, you can get the job, or if you're from the biology background, you cannot get the job. So it completely with us. So just work hard for it. You'll be getting it. That's what I would advise. Any more questions?
So could you share your mail ID, please?
Sure, I can do that. I would share. Okay, I'll just screen share you. So here it is. And please feel free
So
to reach
thank
out
you,
to
sir.
me. Yeah. If any questions, if you're having, just reach out to me. That's it from my side. Thank you all.
Students, any other queries? Any other queries? You can just unmute your mic and you can ask. It's open for you.
யாருமே கேட்க மாட்டாங்க.
இல்ல
Sir,
clear.
sir, what is the minimum CGPA to have for eligibility? Is CGPA necessary, sir?
சிஜிபி ஓகே, நான் அதை பத்தி பேசல. ஸோ சிஜிபி வந்து லைக் யூ கேன் டேக் இட் லைக் மினிமம் 7.5, மினிமம் 7.5 வந்து மேண்டேட்ரி. ஓகேவா? ஸோ 7.5 கீழேயும் போறீங்கன்னா அது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். ஸோ இட் இஸ் வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட். ஸோ அட்லீஸ்ட் 7.5 இஸ் மேண்டேட்ரி. பட் இஃப் இட் இஸ் above 8 or 8.5, it is very good, well and good. பட் இங்க வந்து சிஜிபிஏ கம்மியா இருக்கு அப்படின்னா நீங்க வந்து நிறைய சர்டிஃபிகேஷன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருந்தா பெட்டர். என்கிட்ட நிறைய சர்டிஃபிகேஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு, என்கிட்ட வந்து இன்டர்ன்ஷிப்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ அப்படின்னா வந்து சிஜிபிஏ கம்மியா இருந்தாலும் ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனையே இல்லை. பட் ஆனா நீங்க சிஜிபியும் கம்மியா இருக்கு, எதுவுமே இல்லைன்ற சமயம் உங்களை கன்சிடரே பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ இட் இஸ் பெட்டர் டு ஹாவ் எனிதிங் மோர்.
Can I comment on this?
Yes, Sathish.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I would say, like, CGPA is it's just a number that that's going to play a role. But if you're really skilled, if you're really talented, and CGPA doesn't even give a. I mean, people don't consider CGPA as a criteria for the if you're applying for a highly challenging jobs, right? So be it Google, be it Facebook, be it even Amazon, right? So I mean, CGPA does not play a role there. So they all care about is like like how how employable you are based on your skills. So based on your the test they keep, right? So it's like how you perform the test. So so I would say, sharpen your knowledge. CGPAs.
So we don't have to study everything in our subject for 6 papers. Like we don't have to put the hard work on that.
Uh, I'm not allowed to comment on that. Maybe like I will share my experience. Like, I'm someone who's very much interested into into the computer. So I basically don't even care about the internal marks which college gives. So even the exams, I less care about that. I less care about the semester exams. So I'm someone like who got like 7.4 CGPA in my total 4 years of college. So even now, when I recruit people, I don't even see a CGPA there. I used to get a lot of profiles there. It's all about how they play well in the data structure round is what I basically evaluate them. I don't even give up. I don't even consider workshops or the press paper presentation. Nothing. I don't even care about that. All I want is, are you really well versed in the language, in the data structures? Are you really know the data structures? That's what matters when you're applying for a highly qualifiable or dream jobs, I would say, like Facebook. Even Zoho. People don't even care about uh, CGPA. So for Multicoreware, in our college they had set up uh, criteria, like you have to be a department top. You should come under department top 15 or 20, I think so. Okay. But if you are not able to come into that that range, maybe you can contact us or contact me directly, so that I can push your resume. I can conduct a mock interview with you. If you are really capable, I can push your profile to my company, and they will definitely consider that. So if at all a college sets any criteria, you should have such criteria, such you should meet such criteria to apply for a job. Ignore them. Simply ignore them. Go to LinkedIn, get some recruiters, ping them politely, and ask them like if they are opening for any if there is any opening for freshers, and they'll be happy to help you, right? So it's like unlocking every myth you see in the college. It's all about breaking stuff. I'm not sure Jain sir is going to thrash me after this meeting,
So is
but
there any chance doing internship at your company?
yeah, we have internships, but we are open only for the third year students, I think. uh, we definitely have internships, and we recruit people for internships.
Your company website name, sir?
Sorry.
Your company website domain or name?
It's multicoreware.inc.com. You can simply Google it. Or so yeah. So that's my take on how great how CGPA plays a role. So yeah. So the only place where I'm feeling now, my CGPA is less, is that I'm looking for a master's. Okay, I'm looking to do a master's. there my criteria, I'm not meeting their criteria. Like since my CGPA was less,
Exactly,
I'm
Satish. I was about to comment on the same. Yeah.
yeah. So that's where the CGPA, is playing a role, is taking a turn on me. So that's that's something you should also care about. With the job wise, they don't give it, they don't consider it, but for the higher studies, they do consider it.
So
Yeah.
I don't know who asked this question, but it is like some companies in India and abroad as well. They are like, if you're excellent, like you're outstanding, then they are ready to take you. Okay, so it is not something that we can't decide on it. So it is like always to be on the safer side. So it is like just work on whatever you're doing it, because this is a graduation that you're going to do. So just don't lose marks on those things, just because you're trying to learn something new and you're trying to do something great. Just don't lose your marks on the graduation. So it will have impact, not really now, but if you're planning to do the masters, as Satish mentioned, so it will be having a huge impact. And so for those things, I would say, like, don't lose your marks on CGPAs. Just have it at least, like I'm saying, 7.5 is something very less, I would say. So it is something, it is good to maintain. That would be advisable. And for the internships, you can just go to any company. Each and every company on their sites, they have the options for career, right? You can click over there, and most of the companies, when the internships are open, they have the link for the internships. You can just browse over there and you can apply directly. There is no need of any middleman to do or get an internship from any company. Even for our company, we have this link in our site. So it is very easy to apply for internships. It is just that it depends on the company whether they are taking you or not. That depends. Applying internship is very easy. That one.
Is it worth to pay for internship, sir? Is it worth it that to pay like some companies are asking payments?
I hope small
No,
companies will
no,
be
no.
doing that,
I,
like startups.
no,
Yes.
I would say not to go for those companies who wants your money to get the job done by them. No, I would strongly recommend you not to even send your profile to them. Okay, there are a ton of internships available, which don't even ask you to pay. Oh, please apply for that alone.
See, and majorly internship is something that you are you are giving your contribution to the particular company. Okay, with the minimum wage. Okay, like minimum pay, I can say. So you're just going to the company and they will train you on something, whatever they are working on. For example, if they are working on a web-based application, or a website they are having, so they wanted to add some new features on that. Okay, so they'll take you for internship and they'll train you, like these are the programming languages we are using. So we are planning to do this feature update on this particular website and we need your help. So they are taking your help in order to achieve something. So that is the actual internship. But the internship that you are saying, that they are asking money, what they will do, they'll take you and they will like they'll keep you for like 2 weeks and they will be teaching you some XYZ, HTML,
And they will give
CSS,
us a certificate.
and they will give you a certificate, and that is of no use. That you can do it from YouTube or whatever the free online courses that you have. So that is not the actual internship. Internship is something that you're going to work and contribute for the company. Okay. That is something workshop, I can say, maybe. So yeah, this is all about it. And it is always good to do a certification from a big companies, from Microsoft or from AWS. And there are multiple other organizations as well, which I'm not sure about it. There are like multiple organizations which are having the certified courses available. For example, you can do it on Udemy, plural sites. So these are like widely recognized, and if you're taking the certification and showing to someone, like they all know about it, right? It is not something that you're getting it from Chennai, some Surya technology. So you're like giving an open certification, and the certification number is something like which can be verified by any company. The certificate number that they are generating, it's something like verified by any company if they wanted to verify it. So always go for best. Don't look for like free courses. Free courses doesn't help you. For the initially it is fine. Always go for paid certifications and paid courses. It is always helpful. You're spending some money, I know, but still it is helpful in your future. It would it would it would brush you more actually. It would keep you more better. So go for those kind of courses. Everything is available on Google. Like you just need to search accordingly. There is no need of any help from anyone. But I would say, like, if you're going for paper presentation or something like that, then reach out to Jane. Actually, Jane sir has helped us a lot. Even not even we have like multiple people, not even Jane. We have many other as well. So you can reach out to whoever is comfortable for you. You can reach out to them. You can ask them because they already know like what is the procedure to do it, what we can do. So how this paper might be get selected if you are doing this way. So they all know that procedures. So reach out to anyone for your any help. They should really help you. If not, yeah, you can reach out to us also if you need any help. Yeah, that is all from my side. I don't have anything else to talk. Thank you all. Good luck.
Yeah, any other queries, students? Yeah, I think they are fine. Okay, thank you, Mr. Prakash, and thank you, Mr. Sathish. Thank you for your valuable time. And students, so with this, we'll be ending our day, that is the total sessions, and more sessions yet to come. It is based on your interest. So we'll be conducting the sessions, and the implementation will be given in your WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you all. The feedback link will be posted in the class group. So please fill the feedback form. Thank you once again.